Several years ago, while vacationing with my family in Orlando, I went out one night after our day's activities to get some stuff in preparation for our next day's activities. Well, I'd purchased quite a few items at the store, and rather than take 2 trips up to the room, I wanted to go in just 1 trip. I got to the elevator, pushed the button to call the elevator. As I stepped in, a couple of the items began to shift. In my efforts to write the items and not drop them, I dropped the keys. I watched in horror as the keys fell to the floor of the elevator, but unfortunately, they fell right at the crack between the elevator and the floor. There they were, 4 feet below me, inaccessible. The next day was spent in frustration as we waited for the maintenance people to come retrieve our keys. Instead of a day and activity, we spent our day sitting around doing nothing. We all use our keys. We use them on a daily basis. We use them to unlock doors, letting us into rooms, into our hotel rooms. We use them to turn our cars on. We use them metaphorically to unlock opportunities and unlock potential. But keys are only useful if you use them. My mission is to use my personal stories to inspire other people to make more meaningful choices and live up to the potential of their lives, to use their keys. So my first key is just simply this: make the choice. Something that we feel compelled to do as opposed to something that we choose to do rarely produces the sense of self-fulfillment. Self-fulfillment and joy comes when we actively participate in the decision process and we actually feel like we can make a difference in the outcome. I had this principle reinforced in my own personal life, oddly enough, in the middle of a lake while being pulled by a boat. Long before I slipped on my first pair of water skis, I knew it was a sport that I was going to really enjoy. I grew up in southeastern Idaho around lakes and reservoirs, so I'd see people drive down the street with their boats, but unfortunately, I never had the opportunity to go water skiing. I always dreamed, but I never had the opportunity. You can imagine my delight years later when I started to date my wife Cindy, when I found out that her family were water skiers and they actually had a boat. Cindy's brothers took me out water skiing one night and my suspicions were confirmed. I loved water skiing, but we were on our way to the Midwest so I could go to dental school, so I didn't really have an opportunity to experience it that much. And as soon as our boys were old enough, we purchased a family boat. One evening, not long after we bought our boat, we took a friend of ours out water skiing, and he shows up with his own personal slalom water ski. Now, showing up with your own personal slalom water ski when you get invited to go boating, kind of like me showing up to the neighborhood pool party with my Speedo. It really raises the bar of expectation. Well, unfortunately from our experience, Bob really didn't need to bring his water ski that night because he really didn't live up to his potential. But I caught a vision. I was no longer going to use 2 skis. I was going to learn to slalom. I had the vision. So I went to the local ski shop to get some pointers. Using the tips that I got at the ski shop, I was able to get at my first try. As I skied along excitedly, because I was actually up, I skied outside the wake. The wake is a little wave that goes off the back of the boat that's caused by the motor. If you want to enjoy boating, you basically have a choice. You can be dragged around the lake by the boat, or you can choose to cross the wake. Once you make that choice to cross the wake, the whole entire lake becomes your playground. For me, that's heaven on earth. What I'd been dreaming about when I sat on the tractor on those hot summer days in Idaho was not just crossing the wake, not just water skiing, but was making those big rooster tails that we all picture when we picture water skiers. I found that after countless falls and a couple of cracked ribs, by leaning into the turn and carving with the back of the ski, I was able to throw up some pretty big rooster tails. But they're only possible if you make the choice to cross the wake. My water skiing experience taught me that with education and planning, you can mitigate challenges. Such as it is in life, with education and planning, you can mitigate the challenges. But once you choose to cross the wake, once you choose to confront your challenges proactively, the possibilities become unlimited. I've used this principle countless times in my own personal life to achieve my goals and make my own personal dreams come true. So my first key is this. Take the key out of your pocket, use it, make the choice, and cross the way.